What's going on?
What's up, Taylor?
How you doing? Good to see you.
Taylor, how does it feel to get that contract out of the way? Focus on football.
It's truly a blessing. I'm very happy that I'm sticking around the Carolinas. I love it here, and I think we have a bright future ahead of us. So I'm excited that I can be part of it.
Taylor, I know that getting it done kind of came down to the wire. What was your involvement? Did they just tell you when it was done, or what was that day kind of like for you?
Yeah, the decision came down pretty last minute, but I knew in the back of my mind that the Carolinas really wanted to stick around, and the deal was wonderful. So it was just it turned into a no-brainer for me to stick around the Carolinas because, like I said before, I love it here, and I'm just excited to be part of something that I think will be special.
I know when you talked during minicamp, you kind of let your agent handle a lot of that. As the process dwindled down, did you get more involved and say, hey, I want to get this done?
I mean, ultimately, I did get more involved after OTAs and chatted more with my agent about it. But I think I have one of the best teams in the NFL, and I wholeheartedly believed in him and them. And I just knew that my job was football and his job was the other side of it. So I just stuck to what my motto was since I got in the league, was just keep controlling what I control and let the rest of it handle itself for the most part. So.
Taylor, do you know what the plan is moving forward? Are they going to keep you at right tackle? Are they going to move you left tackle? Do you have any idea what the plan is?
I'm ready for wherever the coach puts me, just like my rookie year. Coming in, I don't know where they might put me or where they want me, but I'll be as ready as I possibly can be, wherever that may be.
Is there any expectation that you might get reps on the left side like you did in the spring?
Well, I guess we'll see. I'm ready if the opportunity presents itself.
Taylor, what makes you think this is one of the best teams in the NFL after you went 5-11 the last 2 years?
I think we have something special because the tremendous players we have, the chemistry we're building, the coaching staff, the culture that we're building here. So I think it's something truly special.
I think one of the concerns heading into this season was the left side of the offensive line. Why do you think that may not be the case if you don't think that's the case?
Well, I'm sorry.
I think one of the worries going into the season was the left side of the offensive line. Why do you think that might not be the case if you think that?
Well, however the chips may fall, I believe in our room, in our O-line room, and however the starting five pan out, I believe it's gonna, we're gonna be a great unit, and I'm gonna just play my part and do what I can to help us be the best unit that we possibly can be.
What's it like for you guys to be back here at Wofford and kind of not benefited this time together?
It's kind of a trip down memory lane a little bit since we missed it last year, but I'm excited to get to work and finally put the pads on, the helmet on, and just get after it again. So.
Taylor, how do you describe the Wofford experience to guys that are just coming in that were maybe asking you about it as you came in?
It's different. Like, I guess just tell them, make sure they're hydrated, make sure they're ready to go, because if you've been down here, Spartanburg gets hot. So just make sure you're ready for the practice. Make sure you tuned in for the long days. But I mean, like, they went through it in college, right? Maybe not as long as it is in the NFL, but you get a taste of that camp life. So I just tell them, just focus on just being the best version of yourself you can be, and just be coachable, and just come in and be as consistent as you possibly can be every day, day in and day out. Just find little things you can work on, because the little details can turn into big details at the end of the day.
What will it be like Saturday night to have the fans back watching you guys cheering for you at practice after not having that a year ago?
I'm fired up about it. It's going to be awesome to see Panther Nation in full force come that Saturday. So or Friday rather. I know we're all excited about it.
During those 6 weeks between minicamp and today, did you, assuming you did some workouts, did you kind of work steps on the left side at all?
Mm-hmm. I went back to like my first couple years where I didn't know where I was playing, and I just told myself I want to be as prepared as I possibly can be on either side of the line. Shoot, Matt goes out, I'll be ready to snap the ball if I need to.
And what did those what did those look like? How is that different than when you were training specifically for rights?
It's different. Well, I don't know. Like, in the back of my mind, I always tried to be ready for wherever I possibly could be. Obviously, that opportunity might present itself a little more. Now left because in the past years, whatever happened, it kept me right. But it's just, like I said, it's just feeling more and more comfortable just repping it out day in and day out until, you just feel like you got it down. And you can only do so much on air. It's going to come down to when you got, like a real NFL pass rush in front of you until you get like the real feeling down of it and get comfortable.
After last year not having OTA's minicamp, how much more prepared do you feel for this phase of the off season as opposed to last year where you really only had that little bit before the season to prepare?
I think it was good to have OTAs to get some live reps out there for practice. But I just did everything I could to be as prepared as I can be, just like every season, no matter what the situation is.
When you said it was kind of last minute on contract, that deadline was 4 o'clock. How last minute was it? When did you know this was getting taken care of?
I think we got that deal done maybe 10 to 15 minutes before the deadline.
Mm-hmm.
It came down really close to the line.
What was that like for you? I mean, are you texting back and forth with agent or?
Yeah, I was on the phone with him, and he was talking to the Panthers. And, it was a whirlwind of a day for sure. But like I said, I'm just happy that I got it done. I can stick around the Carolinas.
Taylor, you've played with a lot of different quarterbacks over the last few years. What have you seen in Sam Darnold that suggests he's a good leader?
I think he's a tremendous leader. I think that I love his poise. I love how he carries himself around the bill and the way he attacks today. And, I'm excited that he's on the team and I have the opportunity to be protecting it.
Any one thing he's done, though, that stands out as far as leadership in the huddle?
It's a culmination of a lot of stuff. It's hard to just pinpoint one, honestly. But if I think of something, I'll let you know.
Have you been able to hang out with Sam at all just in the offseason besides OTAs?
Yeah, a little bit here and there. Yeah, he seems like a great guy. Like I said, level-headed, cool, good temperament to him.
Your early impressions on Cam Irving?
Cam Irving? I think he's a good player. I think great guy. Happy that, like I said, happy he's on the team too. I think he's someone that can really help us out and be a big part of the O-line unit.
Taylor, what would it mean if Christian McCaffrey can stay healthy this season for this team?
I mean, it's a lot, Obviously, he's one of the, if not the best running back in the game. So, really excited to have him back, and I'm gonna do everything I can to keep him as healthy as he can be. So, but I'm fired up to have him back. I know we all are.
Are you comfortable with all the protocols that you have to go through?
I don't have any problems with it. I got my vaccine done, so that obviously makes things a little smoother, a little bit closer to back to normal. So I don't have any problems.
Been any frustration among the players that the protocols sort of seem to keep switching around, and now there's talk that even though you're vaccinated, you might face more frequent testing?
Yeah, it's hard for me to speak on the other players and what they're thinking, but I know personally I don't have a problem with what's going on. Like I said, getting the vaccine makes things a little easier, makes it a little more back to normal.
Was it important for you to do that, and were there discussions among the team about that? I know y'all have a high rate, like 90%.
Yeah, well, for me personally, I just knew that it was going to be a lot smoother going through the season. I was going to be able to do more. I'm not holding the team back in any way. And also from like a family aspect, I feel like it's another layer keeping my family safe, especially the older people in the family.
What's your one training camp must-have?
It changes through the years. I mean, I said it my rookie year, I'll say it again, I guess the playbook. You got to know what you're doing when you get on that field.
Taylor, this is more of a rookie contract type question, but you signed a big extension like that. Did you make a purchase after that deal comes through?
Well, I bought some land out in the Steel Creek area. Okay. So, I'm already in the works with that house. I guess that's not really the first big purchase since the extension, but I guess it's close enough.
So you're building a new property for yourself?
Yeah.
Were you holding off on that until you got the deal done?
I bought the land because I got it cheap, but there might be a few extra additions to it now.
Have y'all started construction?
No, not yet. Blueprint's still in the works. I'm just worried about football now. I'm in camp. It's full football mode.
Taylor, is it kind of nice to have that done and out of the way, the contract, know that is it comfortable knowing that they wanted to invest that in you, like going into like after dealing with that in OTAs and minicamp? Like, how does that feel now to get that done?
Yeah, it meant a lot. I really do appreciate this football team believing in me and organizations, and I'm just happy. All I'm worried about now is just being the best version Taylor Moton I can be, and doing my part in bringing a ring to the Carolinas.
There's an obvious sense of relief when you get that contract done, but is there any added pressure when you're one of the highest paid offensive linemen in the league?
Yeah, there's definitely some pressure, but I heard a quote someone said, "Pressure is a privilege." So I took that to heart. I had to step back and really understand that quote and realize, I'm in a blessed situation, and I've learned there's a difference between pressure and stress. So stress is when you go out there and you're not prepared. You haven't done everything you can to be prepared in that moment. But when you have pressure, you've done everything. You put in all the work up to the event in hand, and at that point, it's just going out there and performing and doing what you've been doing because you have that confidence. You have that confidence knowing that no one can beat you if you're at your best, but you have the humbleness to know that if you're not, on your game, anyone can beat you. So
you're a pretty calm guy. When was the last time you felt stressed like that?
Stress?
Yeah.
Shoot, it's been a while because football. I feel like it's more of a pressure than a stressor because of how much I prepare for it. Stress might be some stuff outside of football. Like maybe building this house. It's a little stressful. I'm going to do that.
Price of lumber's going up.
Price of lumber's going up. That's a bit stressful.
Yep.
To say the least.
What have you learned about Matt Rule over the last year that has impressed you, and what do you feel like having you guys here for this kind of experience is going to make him even more effective?
Yeah, he's a lead coach. I'm happy to be working under him, and I'm glad he's a leader going ahead. And I love the philosophies he's preaching, and ultimately I think we have a great team of guys. Both the coaches and the players. So I'm excited to be part of this group.